Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, we did manage to see a little more cloud cover out there this afternoon, but that did not stop our temperatures from making it into the 70s once again. The third day in a row, that number has reached the 70-degree mark. We have had some rain showers kind of develop, some lighter rain showers along the leading edge of some warmer air moving in aloft. Cold front actually passed through and is settling down to the south. A little more active weather will develop here from St. Louis on to the northwest. We're already starting to see a couple of thunderstorms south of St. Louis. A lot of that activity will stay focused to our south here this evening. We do have an isolated shower or two heading into the evening hours. Now our temperatures are still in the upper 60s and low 70s, from 69 degrees in Rockford, 66 in Rochelle, and 68 degrees in Freeport. As we go through this evening, a few showers will be possible. Temperatures will drop back here as we head through this evening down into the 40s. A couple of thunderstorms possible by tomorrow morning. We'll time that out for you and look at our severe risks coming into tomorrow afternoon. That's coming up in the First Warn forecast a little later.
Winnebago County Coroners provides an update to a 1976 cold case. Skeletal remains were found in a car pulled from a state line river.
Plus, an Illinois act now targeting harmful insurance practices. How one bill is putting medical decisions back in doctors' hands.
And a local organization plans a trip to the state's capital. The group's executive director says they're working to get more lawmakers invested in the arts.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm David Greenberg. We're now learning more from Winnebago County investigators about the car found earlier this week in the Pecatonica River.
They believe it is connected to a decades-old missing persons case. Blake Dietz was there for the update. And Blake, the big news is they found human remains.
Yeah, that's right, Mimi and David. The sheriff and coroner can't say for sure who those remains belong to right now. But there are other clues than bones pointing police in the right direction. 3 days after the Winnebago County dive crews pulled a car from the Pecatonica River, officials confirmed human remains and personal items were also recovered. The car is connected to the 1976 disappearance of Clarence Owens and Everett Hawley, both last seen in Pecatonica. Now, investigators are working with the family members of Owens and Hawley to identify the remains, a process that could last well into the summer.
Probably a minimum of 4 months. First and foremost, I want the family to have closure, and they're not going to have closure until they know who we have. So it is definitely priority for our office. Unfortunately, you know, there's other people we need to work with that are wonderful at what they do, but we will do everything that we can to get the answers to the family that needs to know them.
Though the sheriff realizes this case is nearly 50 years old, he asks anyone who may know anything about the men, their car, or anything else about that day to call the sheriff's office. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Blake. Freeport officers search for a gunman after a shooting that hurt a young man. A little before 7 last night, police were called to South Float Avenue and East Pleasant Street for reports of shots fired. An 18-year-old was found at the scene. He was shot in the hand and taken to a hospital for treatment. Police believe this shooting is gang-related. If you have any information on the incident, contact Freeport Police or State Line Area Crime Stoppers.
Well, tonight, leaders in Chicago continue tackling a measles outbreak among migrants in shelters. Since last week, there are at least 4 confirmed cases of measles infecting 2 adults and 2 children. The city of Chicago and suburban Cook County confirm at least 4 other cases. Chicago does not require migrants be vaccinated when they arrive. One city alderman says there's been some hesitation.
They wanted some public health expert to tell them that it's safe. That all it was. And that should have been done at the border, should have been done at the landing zone. But now it's harder to do it at the shelter. We're still doing it.
The city says it is now going floor to floor in the migrant shelter offering measles vaccinations. Right now, aldermen say they have reached 97% compliance. After exposure, measles symptoms don't appear until 10 to 12 days later. More cases are expected to pop up.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is enhancing its COVID checks for arriving international travelers in Chicago. Arrivals at O'Hare Airport will be asked to submit to nasal swabs as well as questions about where they've traveled. It's all in order to identify carriers of the virus. The same test will provide health officials with better information about respiratory infections being spread from countries in Asia, Africa, and South America. People who take the test won't get their results, but they will get home COVID test kits.
Well, Governor J.B. Pritzker is now pushing a new reform bill that targets unfair practices in insurance industries.
And we're simply saying you've got to be more reasonable, that there are situations in which you can't and shouldn't stop people from getting the health care that they need on the spot, and especially when their doctor is issuing, their best advice and saying this is what will save your life, this is what will make you healthier. And insurance companies, and often people who don't have any medical training, are making decisions opposing what a doctor is saying a patient needs.
Well, the governor first introducing that Healthcare Protection Act in his budget address last month. He says it'll take power away from insurance companies, making sure patients and doctors are the ones making those medical decisions. The bill's also designed to ensure mental health care is available without calling the insurance company first and to end unfair rate increases.
If you have any questions about upcoming elections, you won't get your answers from artificial intelligence. Google is restricting questions its chatbot Gemini can respond to. Any questions regarding political parties, candidates, or politicians now return a preset message. It says, "I'm still learning how to answer this question. In the meantime, try Google search." These restrictions apply in any country in elections taking place. It's unclear if the restrictions will be lifted once elections are over.
Well, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are now one step closer to possibly banning TikTok in the United States over concerns about its ties to China. Members of Congress and the White House say the app is a national security threat because of its alleged ties to the Chinese Communist Party. Lawmakers want to force TikTok's Beijing-based owner ByteDance to divest. If ByteDance does not sell, TikTok would be banned from U.S. app stores. For the most part, Republicans and Democrats seem to agree on this issue, with the bill easily passing through the House this morning.
Our intention is for TikTok to continue to operate, but not under the control of the Chinese Communist Party.
Today, we're sending a message to the CCP that we are going to deflate the 140 million spy balloons that they have installed on American phones.
The bill now heads to the Senate for a vote. TikTok's CEO denies the Chinese government controls the app or accesses Americans' user data.
The Rockford Area Arts Council provides an update on the local creative community. The organization held a quarterly roundtable this morning. The focus for the meeting was on the upcoming Arts Capital Day in Springfield. Advocates are looking to create a legislative caucus to support policies for creative industries. The council's executive director says their trip is about spreading Rockford's culture across the state.
I'm bringing with me a couple of people from our sector, the Symphony and the Art Museum and the ARC, and then others. And what we're trying to do is tell our story there to our legislators and say, these are the people in the creative sector. We are economic drivers, we are community builders, and how can you as legislators help us tell our story better and increase funding to the creative sector?
The Arts Capital Day is scheduled for April 17th.
A popular fast food restaurant looking to open up a shop here in the Forest City. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers has submitted a plan to Rockford's Zoning Board of Appeals. The chain's now looking to build a drive-through restaurant at Forest Hills Plaza. Plans call for the demolition of the former Stone Eagle Tavern building. Raising Cane's does expect to create about 55 jobs for the position. Zoning Board of Appeals will consider that special use permit Tuesday. If approved, construction is expected the start of March 2025.
The 2024 presidential election will be a rematch between President Biden and former President Trump.
Up next, analysts expect some swing states to play a large part in this year's results.
Coming up at 6, violence in Haiti has been going on for weeks. We'll hear from one Rockford nonprofit on how the unrest has affected their work in the region.
Our temperatures this afternoon fell just 1 degree shy of tying another record. That was 74, set back in 2007, I should say. Made it up to 73 degrees today. But some changes are on the way, and it does come with some thunderstorms beginning as early as tonight. I'll time that out for you in the first warn forecast a little later.
Well, it is official. For the first time in more than 60 years, the 2024 presidential election will be a rematch.
After Tuesday's primaries, both President Biden and former President Trump have enough delegates to be their party's presumptive nominees. Washington, D.C. correspondent Hannah Brandt explains what comes next.
In a surprise to no one, Tuesday's primaries cemented President Biden and former President Trump as the 2024 presidential candidates.
Here's the rematch that very few people wanted.
Political science professor Todd Belt says because both men are so well known, voters will have a clear choice in the upcoming election.
People have to decide, do I want to live under Biden's America or do I want to go back to Trump's America?
Former President Donald Trump celebrated Tuesday's results in a video message sent out to voters, then quickly turned to a general election pitch.
Now we have to get back to work because we have the worst president in the history of our country.
And President Joe Biden has been campaigning all week, talking to voters in New Hampshire, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
I'm optimistic, not just about winning, but I'm optimistic about the country.
Now both leaders have a long campaign ahead of them, with the general election still more than 7 months away.
We are in the age of permanent campaigning, and this is going to be an exhausting election for Americans.
And Professor Belt predicts this election will be very negative and focused on attacking the opposition.
Trump being a threat to democracy, and on Trump's side, we're going to hear a lot about Biden's failed policies.
The last time we saw a Biden-Trump face-off, the election came down to just a small number of votes in key swing states. And Belt says that's likely to happen again.
It's going to be very, very close because people haven't shifted their attitudes on these candidates very much.
In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Oh, we saw yet another 70-degree day.
It was beautiful out there once again. After the break, Hannah's giving us a timeline for maybe some rain tomorrow, along with a bit of a cool down later this week.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we had some sunshine out there earlier today, but now the cloud cover working back in, and this has led to a mostly cloudy sky. And from that, we've even had a couple of light showers kind of pass through parts of northern Illinois. Now moving into southern Wisconsin, nothing too significant for us, just a little light rainfall kind of lifting up through the Highway 20 corridor and then up north into Wisconsin. We may continue to see a light rain shower or two and maybe even hear a rumble of thunder as we go through this evening, but things through the evening are expected to stay fairly quiet. Now the area to the southwest of us, that is what we're going to be watching here through this evening for the development of some thunderstorms, which will eventually work closer to us overnight tonight and then into the start of tomorrow. So let's time that out. While we've got an isolated shower or two here this evening, we'll watch as some thunderstorms develop to the southwest. These will form and lift to the north and northeast overnight, likely moving closer to us by about 2-3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Any strong, severe thunderstorms likely going to stay to the south of us, but some heavy rainfall and even some smaller hail could be possible, and that would take us through at least mid to late morning on Thursday. After that activity passes to the north. The more active weather will stay to the south and work a little further to the east towards Indiana. Then we get a little bit of a break, most likely going into the early part of the afternoon. So thunderstorm development here tonight, roughly from 2 to about 10 a.m. on Thursday. Biggest threats with any stronger thunderstorm going to be some heavy rainfall and maybe even some small hail. Now that second round of thunderstorms are possible, but it depends on exactly where that warm front is. That is going to be key, and the time frame for that would time out to be between about 3 and 8 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So let's look at that time frame as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Here's the morning activity lifting north into Wisconsin. Watch what happens though as we head into the afternoon. A lot of that thunderstorm development staying to the south, tied to where we have better instability, better wind shear, and just better dynamics in the atmosphere. So that's kind of favored from southern Iowa, northern Missouri, and then central Illinois. That keeps most of northern Illinois pretty much dry going into the evening hours. After that, colder air does work in, and we'll see a return of a little bit of a cooler pattern going into the weekend. Now that severe risk, it's still there. It's shifted a little further to the south, at least for that slight risk. The marginal risk, which is the green we have, I think that's actually more for what we get here going into tomorrow morning with that hail threat. Now, why has all of this shifted? Well, remember when I said that warm front going to be key? That front has already passed to the south of us and now sits close to Interstate 80. That thunderstorm activity moving into tomorrow morning is likely going to reinforce that boundary further to the south. What we're looking at is the amount of energy that we have, those brighter colors, higher energy in the atmosphere. And with that, for that afternoon and evening activity, that's where a lot of that thunderstorm potential will be. Now, if that front is able to make it to the north and our morning activity isn't quite as widespread, well, then we could see some additional thunderstorms for the afternoon. But I think that threat shifting further to the south. Guys, a little windy here as we look into the weekend. A couple of snow flurries possible Sunday night into Monday.
All right, Candace, thanks.
Scott's in next with sports. He says the Ice Hogs will be trying to match a franchise record tonight on the road.
And a former Rockford High School basketball star earning a major honor at the college level.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
When you're rolling like the Ice Hogs are right now, you can't wait to get right back on the ice. And the Hogs are going to do that tonight. They'll play their second game in 2 nights in Texas. Last night, they defeated the Stars 4-3 to run their winning streak to 7 games. If they make it 8 straight tonight, that will tie the franchise record for the longest winning streak. That was set by the 2014-15 team. The Ice Hogs are winning because their offense has made huge strides. Before this winning streak, they were averaging only 2.6 goals per game. During the streak, that average has jumped up by 2 goals per game to 4.6. The Hogs win tonight. They'll also overtake the Stars for 3rd place in the Central Division. The Blackhawks also have taken a big leap in scoring their last 2 games. They've scored 14 goals total in back-to-back wins against the Coyotes and the Ducks. 7 goals scored in each game. And last night against the Ducks, Connor Bedard ended a scoring drought by hammering in his 20th goal. He also had 4 assists. He is the first 18-year-old rookie for the Blackhawks to score 20 goals since Eddie Olczyk last did it in 1985.
It's funny, I had 8 games straight without a goal, and then you have a couple big ones, and people kind of forget about that. So, I don't know. I think I'm just trying to, stick to what works, and I've been fortunate the last 2 to get a couple, but it is only 2 games.
The Blackhawks' next game will be Friday night against the Kings at United Center. Well, the Bears have officially announced the free agent signings of DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Owens, and Gerald Everett, plus 2 names that had not been reported earlier. They have signed former 49ers offensive lineman Matt Pryor and quarterback Brett Rippon. Rockford Christian graduate Marcus Hill Jr. has had quite the basketball season for Bowling Green. He was rewarded for it today by being named to the All-Mid-American Conference first team. Hill Jr. is averaging 20.6 points per game for the Falcons, and he led the MAC in total points scored. He's had 9 straight games where he scored 20 or more points. Hill Jr. is a junior. NIU junior guard David Coit has made the All-MAC third team. Coit led the MAC in scoring in conference play, averaging almost 23 points per game. He also led the MAC in 3-point field goals made per game and in free throw percentage, and he was 6th in the MAC in assist. NIU freshman guard Will Lovings-Watt made the MAC's all-freshman team. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Well, our temperatures tonight will stay in the 40s. The First Warn Interactive Radar, we've got a couple of light rain showers passing up to the north of us, and we'll see a few scattered light rain showers as we go through the rest of this evening. Better chance for some thunderstorms and some heavy rainfall will work in late tonight after about 2-3 o'clock, and that'll carry over into tomorrow. Temperatures for tomorrow near 52. We're down to 37 for tomorrow night. Some heavier rainfall possible through the morning, cooling off for the weekend.
All right, thanks, Candace.
World News Tonight's up next. We'll see you back here at 6.